Anybody there? Welcome to the SHAC Shack. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. My name's Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK. And after a very, very busy weekend on Create and Craft TV, it's nice to be back at home. If anybody's there, let me know. I can't find the glasses, my long distance glasses, so I can't see much and I can't respond directly, but I do apologise. But Paul is in the building with you. I can see some movement, so I think we'll be fine. Paul, sound is nice and clear. Thank you. Paul Church, also back from TV World. He's back in the building with you too. So if you have any questions, he's your man. What a busy weekend. Wow. No more gnomes. No more gnomes to sell. We had to, well, we came home early, which is okay too. So thank you so much. What was so lovely is, of course, that the gnomes were born here in the shack, weren't they, in our little shack? Yes, they were. And weren't they beautiful? Jazz's little letterbox gnomes. So delightful, weren't they? Just a joy. But we really have sold out of all the dies. So we've ordered more, but they'll be a little while. There'll be a couple of months. But the stamps, of course, and the groovy plates, even though we sold out at the weekend, we can make those. We can crack on with those. We've had the conversations, so that's fine. It's, you know, this is one of the good days of being a manufacturer. It sure is. So many, many thanks for all your support. Come on in, grab a seat, and then we'll get started on our ammonites again. Hey? Yeah, I'm feeling my age today, if I dare say so, but don't call me old. Just tired. I think it was a full-on week last week, full on. And so I think this week we'll tone it down a little bit. We'll just turn the dial down a bit. Hey? It's good to have your company. Come on in. How are you? How are you? My dad's up and down. You know, he has good days, he has bad days. I should go and see him tomorrow. And his sister's coming down from Bury St Edmunds to see him today, so he'll have some good company. That'll be nice for him. And other than that, yeah, one day at a time. It's the only way we can do it, right? Isn't that right? And just before, while you're coming in and settling down, before we get started, also, apart from saying a big thank you to you and to you, Paul, you know, you for buying, you for helping Paul, Jazz for designing, you know, big shout out for the gnome collection. They didn't half go well, I tell you. Tina Morris had me in stitches yesterday. She said Graham said we could, well, it started out with my brother, because he said, you need to corner the market on these gnomes, Barb. I said, do I? He said, yeah, you need to do some international ones. Like you could have a China gnome, a Chinese gnome with a Chinaman's hat. And you could have a Mexican gnome with a sombrero. You could have an Indian gnome with a turban. I said, he said, you could have a Japanese gnome. And then he went quiet. I said, with a kimono. And he went, with a portable toilet. I said, no, not a commode. A kimono. And he went, what about a kinomo? I thought, oh, it's getting better and better. Anyway, I told Tina Morris about this. And then she said that her Graham said, what about abanomes? Gnome in me, gnome in you. Uh-huh. Oh, boy. So, yeah, levity. Laughter's a great tonic, isn't it? And I don't even like ABBA, but I've had this gnome in me, gnome in you in my head all day now. Yeah, but it's lovely when it works. And I said on Thursday, I said, if they don't like these gnomes, then I don't know where we're going wrong, because they were irresistible to my mind. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, then Paul, do us a favour, just put the link in for the gnomes, would you please? Because you never know. Not everybody watches TV and not everybody knows about our gnomes, do they? Right, are you ready to start doodling? Do you know, that's another thing that I wanted to say. So the ammonites, giving, sharing. This is one of the loveliest things about the shack, you know, is like, so Ken, our friend Ken, he brings me home from the Jurassic coastline when he goes on holiday. He brings me a beautiful ammonite. Mind you, I did give him a shopping list. Anyway, so he gives me this beautiful ammonite, and that's what triggered our doodles, right? So what we did, just in case you're wondering what on earth is going on, what we started out with was drawing these ammonites, right? Do you remember? Really, really easy. And then what we did, we took our Northern Lights designer papers, which are pretty spectacular. Any one of these would do the job. And you can see that because they're parchment, you see, when you put white behind them, you really show them off. So we took one of our Northern Lights papers. It was one in particular that that's the one. And I thought, well, there you go. That is a good starting place, right? So we took that as our starting place to draw our ammonites on. And the dull side is the front, and this side is the side that has the ink on it. And in fact, we decided to keep the parchment pads half price, just to encourage you to use them, because they're pretty spectacular. See, on white, they're just lovely. But when you turn them over, because it's translucent, you see, you can see how you can see right through the parchment to transfer your doodles to the dull side with ink. I'm just doing a little recap. So then we were using our micron pens, which we also have in our Shack store. So that was the first thing we did. And then so Ken gives me a gift, and then I use that gift to show or share a doodle idea, right? Now, so then we go a little bit further, and then we realize, well, I knew this. You doodle on the dull side, then you turn over, and then using a white eraser pencil, you see, you can take out color. Like, here we go. See, because we're on the shiny side now, you can eliminate the ink like that, let's say. And then when you turn it over, you're getting your highlights in, highlights and lowlights. So that was about where I left you. And then I said, right, what we need to do now, friends, is fill in the whole sheet, and then we're going to chop it up. So then I dashed off to TV World, didn't I? I was there Wednesday, and I was home Thursday. That was when we hung out together. And then I went back Thursday for Friday and Saturday. I came home Saturday afternoon, though, because there was no more gnomes. No more gnomes. And I left Paul up there to mop up. And I came home and worked on other stuff, did a bit of pottery, switched off, downtime and all that, you know, life-work balance. And then this morning I woke up and I thought, hang on, I haven't finished my homework for the shack. But, and here's the beauty of it, many of you post your beautiful artwork on Facebook, on Clarity Worldwide, right? Join if you're not in Clarity Worldwide, our Facebook group, or Groovy Worldwide, you really ought to consider. They're very safe Facebook groups. We monitor them all the time. My daughter Grace, even when we stop monitoring in the evening, because Gracie's in New York, she's always got Facebook on, and so any trolling, any unkindness, anything like that is immediate. You don't even see it. It's gone before you even see it. Sometimes it happens, but it's so rare with us. We've got zero tolerance on bullying. Okay, so it's a very safe, caring, sharing, creative place. And so many of you, you've been sharing your fabulous artwork. And one in particular, because I said, right, so here are your different shapes. You've got starfish, you've got, do you remember that one? I can't remember the name of it now. The ashtray. The ashtray shell. Told you all about my smoking days. And then we had all different sorts of patterns, right? But then, so I gave you that and I said, right, for homework, fill the sheet. And then last night I thought, oh, I haven't done mine yet. But so many of you had. One in particular blew me away, Val Hodgson. So I want to show you Val Hodgson because she shared her artwork with us. It was quite comical actually, because when I read her comment, she also said, check this out. She also said she hadn't done the washing, the housework, the drying. It was all just piled up, but she got completely engrossed. I love that. And she thanked me, you know, for giving her those hours of creativity. Well, now it's my turn to thank you, Val, because at 6 o'clock this morning, I grabbed your artwork and I power filled in mine. Right, you ready? Look at this. I'm going to come in. Let me see, what's the best? If I come up, look, I'm going to come in and I'm going to show you. So she's used, look at this, look. Isn't that superb? So that's Val Hodgson's work. And she posted that on Facebook. Thank you, Val. Thank you so much. I took a picture of it and I thought, now that is going to take the thinking out of my job for me this morning. Look. And then I remembered, like, do you remember when we did the droplets? So I thought, right, we can do some droplets in there. We can do, and then, do you remember when we did the netting? So we could do some netting in there. All these things that had slipped my mind because I'm just too busy. It's all right though. See, that's the loveliness of caring and sharing. So it's just a giving group, isn't it? And do you remember last week we were talking about random acts of kindness? And sometimes you perform an act of kindness. Like for me now, for Val to do that, you have no idea what a relief. It was like sweet relief. I can go straight to Val's work. She won't mind because we're in a sharing community. And so she'll be more than happy that I've borrowed her work to take my work to the completed point. So I'll show you mine now, and it's not finished, but it's certainly so suddenly Val is me and I am Val. So here we are now swapping places, and that to me is brilliant. That works for me. Do you see? So let me show you. So I took Val's and I thought, yeah, we got some netting going on in here. I did a little bit of different sort of kelp work. I did a sand dollar down here. I did this idea in white. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, she did different. It's different. We started differently, but it's called teamwork, friends. And so I kind of finished mine on the front. That'll do, donkey. And that'll get me through now to the next stage, right? So you can see, let's just take in Val's idea, the netting. What an easy way to do a bit of infill. And then the bubbles, yeah, I wish I thought of them earlier, because if you look at this, there are so many potential droplets here, aren't there? Look, they're all over the place. You could put them in and then draw there on the front, see? But that's for another day, yeah? So there you go. And this is where we're at now. This is where I'm on now. And what we're going to do this week, isn't that lovely? Fast forwarded. So what we can do today, we're going to start putting highlights and lowlights in. That's what I thought we'd do today. And to do that, I need nothing more than my white rubber, my white eraser pencil, my sharpener, I need that. I'm going to hang on to my white Posca pen. These are the things that I'm using, and a Micron pen, 01. There you go. It's good, isn't it? So it's sharing. See, I think that's the thing. The sharing is it's that giving, isn't it? If you know something or you've got knowledge, then I believe, this is my thoughts, that one should pass that on gladly. You know, it's not, knowledge is not to be kept. Knowledge is to be shared, isn't it? You know, and so, well, that underpins everything at Clarity, really, doesn't it? I think it's the world is a much richer place when people share. There you go. Whether it be knowledge or bread. Nectar. So let's crack on. It was Bea's 92nd birthday last Thursday. Well, many, many, many happy returns. 92, Bea. That's an accomplishment. Hey, how are you feeling? Are you feeling well? And Janet, is she feeling well? I hope so. I hope that you celebrated your 92nd birthday in style. Let's have a look. What have we got here? So we've doodled most of it on the front, and now we're going to turn over to the back. We used some white, and we can go back in with white. That's easy enough. And what we're going to do now is start bringing the work to life. So we're definitely working on the shiny side, okay? Because if I were to work on this side, and I would rub out the black, I wouldn't rub out the color. The color, see, it's not there. It's on the other side. But I would rub out the ink. Look, I'll show you. I bet I can rub this out. There you go. See, ink gone. So we're not working on the dull side, she said, repairing her droplet. We're working on the shiny side, because that's where we can eliminate color and add color. Now, having said that, when we start adding color, look, I was looking at some droplets down here. You see, when we start adding color with gray pencils, have you got your polychromos? We've got a set of 12, just gray pencil. I mean, listen, I've got like the big tin of 60, which is marvelous. But a lot of you, if it doesn't stretch to a big tin of 60, then there's a set of 12 which have got like greys, all the different greys. Because for me, right, I think you get what you pay for. And the polychromos, that you get all these lovely colours, but the ones that I use most of, look, I've filled them out. This is usually all greys in this area, but I've got more here, see? And in that set of 12, I'm going to take my beige out. This is warm grey too. Let's take that one out. Right, and we've got the blues there as well. So we might use a little bit more of this to enhance the colours if we want to go bright, right? Now, we could do that on the back and on the front. But what we have to know is that we can only take the background colour out on the shiny side. So my suggestion is that we take a piece of low tack masking tape, right? And we put it on the shiny side. So now I know, and I'll leave it on there. So even if I'm moving it around, I know that if it's that way around, I know it's the right way around. If that's sticky, I'm on the wrong side. See, so that way I can look at what I'm doing, and also that all the white, the bright white, is all on this side too. Yeah. How are we doing? Val Hodgson said, "Thank you, Barbara. I now can't see what I'm doing for tears." Daft old biddy. Hey, well, hang on a minute, Val Hodgson. Daft. Right, first of all, daft old biddy. Less of the daft, because I got to tell you, girlfriend, that work was inspirational. And old, we're not using the word old. B is 92, right? That's very, very wise. That's very, very mature. Is B year old? I suppose she's not young, but I bet she's young at heart. Hey, we need to outlaw this word old. So, daft old biddy, brilliant creative woman. There you go, that sounds better. Brilliant creative woman. Right, let's get rid of some of this white. We're going to get rid of some of the colour and we're going to add some highlights. You ready? This is a piece of cake, this bit. So actually, I need a brush to get rid of the bits. That's the first thing. I'm going to use a brush. And I wonder if, bear with me a moment, just stay there while I go for a little wander. I bet somewhere, I don't know, I've always got everything, I'm always so well organised usually, but everything went to the TV studios and then it didn't come back. So what I would normally use here is a groovy guard, but I don't know where it is. So instead, I'm just going to lean on a piece of, there you go. I'll just lean on a piece of copy paper. That's fine. I just need to lean on something so I don't lean on the artwork because it's parchment. Well, it's the same for anything, cards or parchment, right? If you lean on it long enough, it will start to buckle because your hand is hot, isn't it? So, right, let's have a look. You can see how you can eliminate the colour. So we're going to assume, okay, that where's the top and where's the bottom? Have a look. What do we think? Let's go round. Let's change. Let's decide what's the top and what's the bottom before we start. Right, I'm putting the reeds and that down the bottom, and I'm putting the droplets at the top. There you go. I think that'll do. So in that case, although I did do that, maybe I've dictated it to myself, haven't I? If that's the highlight. I think it's still time. I can always add it and take it away. Let me just have a little think. Thinking. Well, you see, I'm on the back, aren't I? So let me just have a look on the front and then decide. Bear with me a minute. I've got to decide where my top is and where my bottom is. That's my top and that's my bottom. Sorted. So if that's the case, then we've got to, we might have to add a little bit. That's, what did I say? That's the top. There you go. That's the top. Right. Okay, good. Regroup, Gray. So we get together, don't we, to relax. It's not a performance. It's not a lesson. It's a chill time with friends. And this week, we're going to get together today. And then tomorrow you're with Paul doing Groovy, if you fancy it. And then on Thursday, it's us again. And then we'll finish off the ammonites. Well, we'll finish off these ammonites because on Monday, we're going to do that watercolour. Remember? Do something different. That'd be nice. Same sort of summary, but lovely. Same design. This was the one that I wanted to go. Where did I put it? I want to do on Monday with you. This one. This is going to be so pretty. That one. Big and beautiful on watercolour. I think that's where we're going. So the driver knows where she's going. She just needs to have enough time to prepare the feast. So let's start at the top and let's work our way down on this. I think that's the key here. So this is the top and that's the bottom. Right, I'm going to put some, here we go. Let's add a bit of shade. Let's do this. Here we are. See, because the thing is, you can take the colour out, which is pretty clever, but then you can also reintroduce some colour, can't you? If you want to. Have a look. So if that's the top, I'm going to go around there. So we're coming, and you'll see the parchment is really robust because it's like fine sanding what we're doing here. It's like sandpaper, you know. Do you know, yesterday, look, we can also, what we can do is we can get some structure, some texture. To do that though, I need, here we go. I need a sharper. That's it, sharper eraser. So for example, here, I can go in there and I can add a little bit more. See, I can get into the tighter area there. And I can make it whiter. See, I can put, not stripes, but like if you look at an ammonite, Ken, you'll be pleased to know, is Ken in the room? Of course he must be. But you'll be pleased to know that yesterday I got your ammonite out, and I used it as a sort of a sprig, as a mold, right, to make a sprig with ceramics. So I dusted it with talc, and then I pushed the clay into it, and then I got just this most amazing imprint, like fantastic. See, and then that in ceramic speak, that's what's called a sprig. And then what you do is you apply that to a pot or a bowl. So that's the next plan, is to apply it. I was thinking it'd be really nice on tiles, you know, like a raised tile. Anyway, so that's my thinking on it. But you'll be pleased to know it works like a charm. Right, so when you turn that over, let's have a look. Cool. See the stripes? So you're leaving some in and you're taking some out. Are we close enough, or do we need to get in closer? Let's do this one. Let's do that one. Let's have a look. We'll go from scratch on this one. Okay. This is the top. So this is the top of the ocean here. Okay, if you like. There's the sky. So the light is coming down this way through the water, let's pretend. So if that's the case, then let's add, see, we're on the shiny side, and then we'll add, so we're going to put some light there, I think. Put some light there on the top. Just establish where you're going to put the light. That's a good idea. That's it. Let's have a look. Yeah, so turn that over and let's see. Look, what a difference that makes when you start to go in like that, hey? Yeah. Pretty cool. And I wanted to take out a bit round there as well. See what happens if I do that. Yeah, that's it. I want to lighten that bit up. I wasn't keen on that. Thing is, though, you see, this isn't what we're doing here. It's not it's not an exam, is it? This is pure relaxation. It's, do you know, yesterday I decided to get back on the wheel at pottery when I went to pottery, and I haven't been on the wheel for months. It's been ages because I can't. Well, I haven't had time. It's quite easy, and when I've gone to class, I've always said, oh no, I'll do hand building, I'll do sculpture, I'll do this and I'll do that, because I've got a wheel at home, so I can do wheel work. I can do wheel work at home. Well, the thing is that wheel work requires practice. It really does. You can't. So yesterday I decided, for better or for worse, have a look what I'm doing here. I decided, for better or for worse, that I was going to get back on the wheel. Rubbish. Wheelie wubbish. But if there's one thing I've learned, is not to beat myself up if it goes wrong. There's no point, you know. And the wheel is quite unforgiving, you know. It's not a doodle. When it goes wrong on the wheel, you make a wheel mess too. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, or I went and did it at the studio. I went in front of everybody and made a mess of it. You know, so you know, Keshlan, the guy from Pottery Throwdown, he was there while I was making a Horlicks of my really bad pots. But I honestly, it didn't faze me, not even that much, because it's not a competition. I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing an exhibition like he is. He's got to get ready. He's doing a big show in Oxford. So he's in mass production at the moment, production pottery, doing immaculate pots, you know, beautiful. Mine, you couldn't give them away, let alone sell them. Doesn't matter, because I'm not ambitious in that regard, you see. My ambition, if I have one, is to just improve my wheel work again, you know, because I was getting quite good, but I've stopped practicing for months. And because I kept saying, oh, I'll do it at home. And then I didn't, you see. And that wheel's been languishing in the garage for a long time. And so when I finished at pottery yesterday, I went home and I said to Dave, would you mind if I went and had another go? Because I'm in the zone now. And so I went and had, I carried on in the garage. I did 8 hours of pottery yesterday, 8 hours of pottery. And I loved every single minute of it. And it was really, it's like you've got to kind of do that in order to figure out and get your confidence back, you know. I mean, it was quite a long stint, I have to say. But I ended up making like 10 really respectable bowls, you know. There's a lot more to it than just, you know, it's the thickness and it's the size and, you know. But it's interesting how you can lose the skill. And you don't lose it. It's like riding a motorbike, you know. I've got my license, but I'd need a few lessons before I went back on the bike, if ever. And the same with the wheel. You know, I don't think I need lessons per se, because I know the theory, but I certainly need hours of practice, you know. And so that's what I did yesterday, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And I think my point is, and it's like the shack, we've heard it said so many times in the shack, the more you do, the better you get. And the better you get, the more you want to do. Ain't that the truth? And I honestly, I really felt it yesterday. I felt, and I tell you, when you know you're improving your game, is because after a while, you start out with, say, ½ pound of clay, right? You start out with a ball that you can cup in your hand, say, right? And then you go to £3/4 pound, then you go to a pound, right? Pound makes a nice cereal bowl. And so, and then And if it goes a bit wah with a pound, it's like, that's okay. Take the 3/4 of it. And you'll find it's like when you go smaller, you've got more control. Of course you have. You've got less clay to handle. You know, when you watch the pottery throwdown and they're coming at you with these, you know, these great big mounds of clay. I'm nowhere near that. I'm at least 100 hours on the wheel away from that, you know, and that's fine. But just for yesterday, I was back on. I managed to get a real comfortable, you know, be comfortable with a pound ball. And that's good enough. That's good enough. And I think the reason that I enjoyed it so much was because I accepted that I needed to go back on myself a little bit in order to go forwards again. And I think often we set ourselves up, you know, with our own expectations. And I think perhaps we need to lower our sights a little bit, you know. Isn't that lovely? Should we have a look? I'm going to turn it over. So you see how I'm going down? I'm sort of making, yeah, I bet you could do little flashes of colour in there. I wonder what that looks like. Let's have a look. Should we turn it over and have a look? Oh, yeah. Doesn't that look super? We haven't even added any grey. We're just doing white. Love it. Now let's have a look at this one here, because I'm thinking, let's see if we can do a bit of shadow on that. So, right, this way, this side. So you can't see the white, but you can if you take it away there. So now, in order to do this area, because I've got the white pen in the background, what I'm going to do is should I come in a little bit tighter? Let's have a look. That'll do. Right. So what we'll do is, let's have a little practice on this one. See, that was the thing. The shack was really, I think. So what I'm doing now is I'm on the right side, I'm on the shiny side. Let's just see if I add a bit of white there. Let's just check what I'm doing before I start doing too much. So I want to get like folds, you know, like it's like a fold. Have a look. Just do a little bit. This is the bit that's folding. It goes in and then it comes out again. So this is going to be out, and there's a slight one in there like that. See if this works. You've got that one there, you've got that one there. Right, let's have a look. Oh yeah, looky. See how you get that? So it's just about getting the start of it. I'd do a real gentle layer first and then go back and go again. That looks good, doesn't it? You know, you can do this with a white pencil too, but you need to take the colour out first. So now I need to go back to the black backdrop because I can see it better then, can't I? Right, lean on that. Lean on me. Right, okay. Has anybody been following Glastonbury? We have. Just, you know, Dave's the muso, isn't he? And so we've been looking. So there was Diana Ross and McCartney. I mean, we had all the legends on, didn't we? I remember we went a couple of times to Glastonbury. I'd like to go next year if it's, you know, if we can get tickets. See how Dad is and Mum, and a lot going on, isn't there, at the moment? But when we went, one of the years, Muse was headlining. Muse. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a band from Devon. rock. Quite not my kind of music usually, but I tell you what, well, apart from the bass guitarist is eye candy. His name is Chris Wolfenholm or something like that. Sounds a bit Swedish. Look him up. He's tasty. The thing about watching Muse with 200,000 other people, it was they were at the Isle of Wight festival last week as well. They were headlining there. But the thing about it, and it was the first time I'd ever experienced this in any form. When we went to Glastonbury and we watched Muse on the Pyramid stage, it was the first time I really got the sense. You know, you talk about out of body experience. It was that sense of being part of a greater thing going on. Normally it's you, isn't it? You are who you are, and you know, I am. If I go to the theatre or I go to a musical or I go to a disco or a club or wherever, you're still who you are, and you're aware of your personal space, and you know you are one of many. But when we went when we got to see Muse, it was the first time in my life that I wasn't just me. I was really part of an ocean. It was quite an amazing sense. It was really quite freeing just to be part of a great big thing. You know, I would like to experience that again. It was, and what was really quite phenomenal. Look, doesn't that look nice? See, we can put some dark in there to drop that back. We can cut that back, but I think that looks really good. And I think I'm going to do the similar thing on the back. Not sure. Let's have a little tiny bit. Yeah. So what I felt was when we were at Muse, it was it was like not being me anymore, not being aware of who I am, not being. It was like light, being very light, like not heavy, not weighed down with me and my life, just part of like a huge fluttering ocean. And what was amazing as well was all the young people in, you know, we were not the youngest in the crowd. They knew all the words, you know, so you had all the sounds behind you too, because we were in the middle of this ocean, and so all around you the words were there, the lyrics. And it was pretty unique. It was something that you know, and I'm a sober person. I don't drink or do drugs or do anything like that, and so it was quite have a look. I might leave that, you know. I might leave that outside edge there. I think I might do a bit of dark in there rather than light. Let's just leave that bit. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, for me, that's the dark side. Let's have a look now at the sand dollar. So yeah, to have that kind of experience and not have had a glass of wine even, or any kind of mind-altering substance, was quite something, you know. Let's do this. Yeah, it really was. So I think you have to have experienced it to understand what I'm talking about. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, that's nice. So we go round the outside on that one. Really nice and white and bright. Right, how are we doing? Are we happy enough? Are we doing this thing? Yeah. It's good, isn't it? Thank you, Val. Yeah. See, so once you've done the white bit, there's another little sand dollar in the background there. So it's nice to just doodle. And it's not over until you've done all the white in the background. It doesn't look like anything until you've done the lights and we haven't done we're doing the highlights, we haven't done the low lights yet. See, these are cool. Check this out, right? So let's turn this over, shiny side. So what we're going to do is put the light is sitting on there. All right, are we in agreement with that? The light is there and there a little bit, right? So these are like those sea anemones. Is that what they're called? I can't remember. It's been a while since I was bobbing around in an ocean that wasn't humans. There we are. That looks good. I think I'll put a little bit of light in there. So that's good. Let's have a look what it looks like. See how it brings it to life? Yeah. Look. So where is it? Here it is. So we've got loads of them. We've got shells, sea anemones. So like I say, I've used the Northern Lights on this. Let's put a bit of light in there. But only because the shape was just screaming out to me. But, I mean, you could use any of the designer paper. When I designed the designer paper years ago and the parchment, I used alcohol inks. So that's why this one particularly, I literally just dropped it, and it splats, doesn't it? We're one thing that we're going to start looking at this week is the retreats. Let me make sure I'm on the right side. Oh, Barbara Gray, nearly. We're going to start looking at the retreats. So how many of you are coming on our 2-day workshops in the summer in August? I've been thinking about them because as the time draws in, I've got a couple of projects already in my head, what we're going to do. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start preparing that feast. That'd be fun. Really good. I can't wait. It's been a couple of years. I think we've got some spaces still left. So if you fancy it, it's at the same place as the open days, isn't it, Paul? I think we're slowly, it's filling up, but we're going to have less people anyway, only because of social distancing and so on. We're very mindful, you know, that it's okay to have less people. It's fine. It's a good thing. Doesn't that look good? Oh, isn't it funny how it comes to life when you add a little bit of light? So here as well, and we can still doodle, you know, if afterwards we decide we want to do some doodling. Hang on, what side am I on here? Shiny. Yeah, it's good idea to check every now and again, friends. So the light's sitting here. This is the top. This is a piece of cake, isn't it? But it's so lovely when it's done, isn't it? Mm. Yeah, so I think we'll have a really good time at the open day, at the retreats. I think we will anyway. I know we will. Won't we, Paul? Yeah. Yeah, very. And most people stay in the same hotel as well, so it's a real get-together of like-minded people. There, that's nice. So we've got that one there. Make sure we're on the right side. Yeah. Yeah, Val, I can see why you didn't get any housework done that day. But you know, all you need is a white eraser pencil. One of the other things is, like with that area there, see, I'd really like to get in there and make those, that kelp white, you know, before we add the low lights. So we're doing highlights and then we're going to do the low lights, aren't we? Yeah. I can't wait to see your artwork, see what you come up with. See how yours looks. What a difference it makes to look at that and then look when you enhance it. Look how flat that is, but what a difference when you add some, isn't it? It's quite something really. And then when you add the white in as well, it looks superb, doesn't it? So let me see. Monday and Tuesday are sold out. There is space available on the Wednesday and the Thursday and the Friday and the Saturday. There you go. So if you fancy joining us, then by all means, have a chat with Janine. So I think I want to try, what's the time? 10:02. Let's add a little bit of whiteness around here. This looks a bit dark behind. Let me just try it and see what it looks like before I carry on. Let me just see if I'm happy with what this looks like when I do it. If I don't like it, then I can stop. And then when we get together on Thursday, we'll do the low lights. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look, check out the difference. So you've got the lighter area and then when it's just dull. Okay. Yeah. Right. That's definitely got to come out then. Just around the outside. Hey? That looks so good. And around there maybe. Hey? Just to highlight that. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, I love that. I love that look. I love that look a lot. You see, and then what we can do, we can get our colouring pencils and we can add depth. So let's have a look at the drops here. Shall we? Do you remember the drops? Do you remember how we do those? Should we add a couple just to refresh your memory? Right. Thank you for the inspiration, Val. Right, let's take another drop. So these ones, that was already dark behind. But let's pretend that we've got another one. Let's just put one out there. Right, there we go. So let's just put a drop like that. There you go, that'll do. Put another one there. Put another one there. Why not? Okay, so we've done that. Now take your white pen. This is a piece of cake, right? Piece of cake. Take your white pen. We've definitely decided that the light's coming from up here, remember? So we're going to make a little triangles like a little, what you're doing is in white, you're going to make something that's like that, like two eyes. This is white and that's white, and then do a little bit in the middle as well. That's what you're doing, right? So with you, so you're going to go little dash like that, little dash like that, and a dot in the middle if you've got room for a dot. And again, little dash, little dot. Right. See? So at its very most basic, they already look like, don't they? Like bubbles. But we can make those look like even better by doing a couple of different things. So the first thing we want to do, right, if we turn this over now, let's make sure we're on this side. Right, so you can see where the white bits are. Hopefully they're dry by now. But let's take, for example, let's say that here, we're going to put a bit of lightness in that area there. Let's put a bit of lightness in that area there. Right, just underneath the, so we're adding a bit of contrast. Right, so here we go, see? So you start to add a bit of light because it's a droplet, yeah? We'll do that. Just add a little bit underneath. You don't want to, that'll do, like that. Don't overthink it. Right, and then when you put it on white, see how it's starting to give, gives it more dimension. But what gives it more dimension than that is when you put, now I'm on the front now, just to show you, we can do this on the front as well. If I add a bit of shadow around the bottom now, underneath, let's call it underneath, like underneath the, there on that side. Do it on the front if you like, just to show you. Do it on the back more as well. Right, so now what we're doing is we're adding a bit of shade underneath, okay, like that. That makes all the difference. Let's get a bit of shade going. Right. Now, okay, it's getting there, but now we need a little bit of depth around the bottom. So turn that over. Now we've got choices. I'm thinking that I want to take, let me take a dark red. So what have I got? Have I got a grey or something like that? Let's have a look. Oh, that looks a bit like it. Okay. This is Barbara winging it now, but just to show you that you can use different colours. So we're on the back now. Are we on the back? Yeah, we are. So if you don't like it, that's the other thing. If you don't like it, you can always get rid of it, which is useful. So let's add a little bit of the same red that's up there. Right, going to go like that in there. Put it round the back here as well, round the bottom, because that was a bit of a bland one. See? See on this one here, let's use the same colour. Let's just go for it. Let's pretend that there was that we can make a blob there, can't we? So let's see what was happening if we do this. If we don't like it, we can always change it. Just rub it out. If we're on the right side. Yeah. Right. See what happens if we do this. Turn it around. Yeah. See? Bit more. Bit more. Want that to be quite dark. And then underneath, you want it to be dark too, because it's, right? So we could actually put a bit of grey in there as well. Let's do it. So, put a bit of colour in that one. So if it looks right on this side, it will look good on the other side as well. Let's have a look. So we're putting a little bit of colour down there, bringing it round the top now. Should we see? There you go, look. It's cool, isn't it? Easy, 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 easy. So where there was no colour, we can put colour. And if for that one there, the dark one, let's go with the green. Let's not use green, let's use grey, just to show you. See if we can do it with grey. Like that. See what happens. I'll just do that. If you don't like it, you can always rub it out. There you go. See how it's starting to make it look three-dimensional? See, and if you want, you can come in and add a bit more colour on the front. Really make it pop. Not that one. There you go. you remember when I can't remember what, we did this in the shack, didn't we? With the water droplets ages ago. Do you remember? There you go. So you just add a little bit of shade. It's not rocket science. Bit of grey around there, a bit of colour. And now I'm on the front actually doing this. It's nice, isn't it? Easy. Real nice. But what a difference it makes with a little bit of a drop shadow. And so you can see immediately the ones that need a bit of attention, the ones that need a bit of love. And then what we'll do is when we get together on Thursday, we'll do the dark side. Let's do a bit. I've got quite a lot of white work still to do. I don't know if I've got time, I'll get to it. Otherwise, we're just going to concentrate on the dark to make this really look like that's tucked in behind and stuff like that. But I'm gonna leave you with this one, so you can see what's going on. You see, look. So there's lots of shading going on there, and it's the depth that we're going to work on Thursday. So white work, see, and then see this bit here, just by way of example, right? When I turn that over, if I wanted to add a bit more depth, now I've taken it out, it's like wax on, wax off. Look, watch. If I go in here now and I add a bit more depth, watch it ping. So you're using this and you're using the translucency. And also, I'll tell you what else to bring on when you come on. When you come on Thursday, look, see how it's starting to, it will start to, there you go. Look. So you're adding it on the front and on the back now. So you'll get the depth going in, and then you'll get the depth. You've got white and black. What you need, one thing you need is a white pencil. So we've got white polychromo or a white pergamano pencil, because that will always, if you want to add a bit more like proper whiteness in areas where you can't get, the pencil will do the job. And the other way to get some real white going is to use, and I can't find them, but I will by Thursday, is the embossing tools from the Groovy, you know, number 1, number 2, number 3, your embossing tools, because we're working on parchment, so we can do that, but we need a soft mat underneath. So you could, for example, use the pink mat or the black mat underneath. So that's what we'll do on Thursday. We'll add colour and we'll finish this off. What a masterpiece, eh? I think so. It's absolutely wonderful. Huh? Isn't it? There you go. So a little bit more white work, a little bit more dark work, get that in there, and then we'll use our white pencil work and our embossing tool. You know what I mean. Paul will give you the link if you haven't got one. So tomorrow it's Groovy Tuesday, Groovy Tuesday, and then Thursday we're together, and I'm not on telly again until Sunday 2 to 4, and we thought it would be nice to have a Jane Nesterenko afternoon. Beautiful woman, beautiful artwork. And that's what we'll do on Sunday on Create and Craft. Okay. But I shall see you on Thursday. Lots of love. Thank you for joining us. And thank you just for always being there. And, you know, for caring and sharing. It works both ways. This whole thing is very, very reciprocal. All right. Thank you. Lots of love. And cheers, Paul, for your help. Everybody needs a Paul in their lives. Bye-bye now.